Align. Breathe. Inside. Align.
Peace.
Dope intro.
That definitely is dope. I love it.
Greetings and good vibes. Greetings and good vibes, y'all.
How's everybody feeling this evening?
Great
And
focus.
Wested excited to be here.
Yes, excited to be here.
Absolutely. Well, thank y'all for coming on. So, greetings and good vibes, everybody. My name is Divine Marie. I am a writer, poet, business owner, certified Reiki master, plant-based cook, and spiritual advisor that is working to actively bring up the next generation with self-awareness, spiritual guidance, and seeking to break and transmute generational traumas. I create safe spaces for others to express themselves so that they can heal. And that is me, Divine Marie.
And I am a poet, musician, music and visual producer, writer, storyteller, history buff, and author who takes the duty seriously, which is preserving, elevating, and transmitting the oral traditions, history, and culture of our people while seeking to help elevate and better connect our people, whether through information or vibration. And I am Circumstantial Saint.
Circumstantial Saint and I both serve as entertainers and historians, ensuring that the cultural heritage of the community is not lost and that future generations can learn from it.
That's right. And this is Divine Circumstances. And we want to know what makes you flow, what makes your flow divine, and what circumstances grow you to align. This is a web show and podcast, part open mic, part healing session where we want to hear your work and then break it down, listen to what inspired you to write or think of your piece, what it is about as it may pertain to a topic for the evening or not.
Absolutely. And we go live every other Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. But remember, you can watch us anytime on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and on our Divine Circumstances Facebook page. I believe we are working to put the race streams on there. We would love for you to join us. So hit that like and subscribe button so you can join in on future sessions. We really like engagement with folks, and that's what helps us all learn and grow together.
That's right. And how to engage with us, we will have more of the links in the comments, but we also have it right under the banner that shows the episode information. So you can also follow me, Circumstantial Saint, on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, which is now called X, whatever, Threads, Bandcamp, SoundCloud, Spotify, any music streaming service that you listen to and more. I've also got several books for sale. The links in the comments too. And if you're looking to reach out to me, you can DM me on social media, or you can email me at saint.leonblock@gmail.com. The info's in the comments. I also want to remind people of Bandcamp. It's like the new hottest thing. It allows artists to sell their own works and creations themselves, puts money directly into their pockets. So consider subscribing to my monthly package where you get exclusive tracks, audio, and more that you won't find anywhere else. It's not on mainstream platforms or anything like that. So you get special access to myself, my lyrics, everything. Bandcamp's kind of like Netflix and Facebook rolled into one, so we can make posts. We set our prices the way that we want to. So it's pretty dope. You can find myself, Divine Marie, Urban Conservative, Trip Young, all on Bandcamp as well.
Yes. And sorry, I got lost for a minute.
Are you good, fam?
Yes. So we also have this web show up as a podcast, so you can check us out on Spotify, listen to our podcast. You can also subscribe to the Leon Block Independent Media for news. Follow the Black Lands Gallery on Facebook and Instagram for healing, jewelry, and crystals, and our collective group One Umbrella for more music and poetry. I also have a plant-based cooking page, Divine's Kitchen, which you can follow on Instagram as well. And like Circumstantial Saint said, you can check out my Bandcamp. My 2 new singles are on there, and my upcoming album will be available for pre-order very soon.
Yes, let's go. Really
Yes,
excited for that. Like,
I
just
know. I'm so excited.
seeing you
So
shine.
today our topic is projection and reflection, and we are lucky to have 2 special guests with us, Trip Young and the Urban Conservative. They are going to be here sharing some of their poetry, so I'm super excited to hear that.
Yes, love it. Love it.
Happy to be here.
Love it. Yeah. Yeah, so I guess we'll get into projection a little bit and read some things about it, and then we can hear from Trip and the Urban Conservative and talk about projection, talk about their pieces. We love to hear other people's pieces. So again, if y'all want to reach out and if y'all want to get on the web show, hit us up, DM us. We're very
Yes.
we love hearing from people. Not a problem.
I met 2 new, well, I didn't meet, but I saw these 2 girls that I already knew. I found out they do poetry, so I let them know about our show. So hopefully we'll have some more guests coming on soon.
We definitely will. I want to get
Yeah.
into today's topic real quick. So today we are
Divine Marie. Divine Marie.
My ancestors don't play about me.
I am who?
Are you here?
Am I here? Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, what happened?
I don't know. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah,
Coming through loud and clear.
the video just started playing. I thought you were like in the middle of talking, and then it just like came on.
Yeah, it came on late. It was like delayed,
Oh,
but I just wanted to show it like it was supposed to be like a little intro. But
yeah.
whatever. The episode we're talking about today is we're talking about projections and reflections. You wanna kick start it off, Divine Marie?
Yeah. Okay, so the first thing that I want to discuss is what is projection. So there's many different definitions of what projection is, but from our standpoint, we're looking at the psychological definition of projection. So the psychological definition of projection is a defense mechanism that was first introduced by Sigmund Freud, the founder of psychoanalysis. It involves attributing one's own thoughts, feelings, or characteristics to someone else without awareness. In other words, when someone engages in psychological projection, they project their own emotions, desires, or traits onto another person, often as a way to avoid acknowledging or dealing with those feelings themselves. And I just want to touch on how it was first introduced by Sigmund Freud. I don't know about you guys, but I'm like a big psychology like nerd. That's what my degree is in. My degree is in psychology, and Sigmund Freud was always my favorite person to study. He was also the founder of the id, ego, and superego. If you guys know a little bit about that, and that's one topic that we can go into one day because yeah, that's definitely an interesting topic. So to hear that he was the founder of the psychological definition of projection, I didn't know that, so I thought that was pretty cool. But he had a lot of psychological theories that I think are really important in our lives today.
Mm-hmm. I just want to go into that first paragraph real quick because I think we all project and we all are victims of projection.
Yeah.
And a lot of times and that's where like the generational ties and trauma can come from too, is like part of those projections. And not everyone works on shadow work to analyze how they're projecting onto other people. So like
Exactly.
I'm being very, very mindful of this right now is that
Mm.
I have projected lately especially, and
Mm.
I'm trying to pinpoint it as much as possible so that I'm not projecting and so that I'm also not uh falling prey to being projected on, you know,
Right.
both because I think both are important to be mindful of.
Absolutely. And I'm like so mindful of it now. Like when people are projecting, I started calling people out on it because I'm not dealing with that shit no more. So like I really notice it now when people are projecting. I be like, you're projecting. Like no. That's not me, that's you.
Yeah, no, I definitely can agree with that. Same here.
Yeah.
And I think it goes both, like I said, it goes both ways. Like if you're gonna call people out for projecting onto you, call
Mhm.
yourself out kindly to yourself as well. Like why are you feeling that way? Why are you
Yeah.
reacting that way?
Mhm.
I think it more so projection has to do with reaction
Right.
to something within yourself.
Right. All right, give me 1 second. I have to put my son to bed.
Hmm. I got you. All right, so I'm gonna
All
get into this. So we got a more detailed explanation of psychological projection. So, unconscious process. Psychological projection typically operates on an unconscious level, meaning that the person engaging in projection is not fully aware that they are doing it. It can be a way of projecting one's self esteem or avoiding uncomfortable emotions. I think the latter is a big one. Um, because if you're not aware of how you're avoiding something that you're dealing with or a feeling that you're having, the easiest thing I think a part of human nature is just to throw it outside of you. And the first people around are the people that are going to pick that up. So, for example, if someone has repressed feelings of jealousy, they may project those feelings onto a friend or partner, accusing them of being jealous instead. In this case, the individual is displacing their own jealousy onto someone else. Um, and the defense mechanism, projection is considered a defense mechanism because it helps individuals avoid confronting or accepting aspects of themselves that they find unacceptable or difficult to acknowledge. By projecting their feelings onto others, they can distance themselves from these feelings and maintain a sense of self worth. So, I think that that's big as well, because for some people maybe it's a matter of survival. For others, it's a coping mechanism
Mm,
to
yeah.
to not do the work of understanding why you're feeling or reacting or not reacting to certain situations. And I think doing the work to always do the shadow work and ask yourself, why am I feeling this way? Why am I reacting this way? Not other people, because how other people are reacting has nothing to do with you. So it's
Right.
about asking yourself, how am I going to react to this situation? How am I going to act in this situation that is the best appropriate manner for not just me, but those immediately around me as well. So that I'm not only checking others, but I'm also checking myself.
Right. Yeah, that's so true. And I feel like in the past I used to use it as a coping mechanism because I just didn't want to deal with whatever I was feeling at that moment.
Mhm.
So yeah, I can see how that's prevalent.
You want to pick up on impact on relationships.
Yes. Okay, so impact on relationships. Psychological projection can have a significant effect on interpersonal relationships. When one person projects their emotions or traits onto another, it can lead to misunderstandings, conflict, and tension in relationships. It can also make challenging to communicate effectively and resolve issues.
Mhm, mhm. Can totally relate to this.
Yeah,
Um,
for sure.
and I think one of the key things to understanding if you're in this situation is misinterpretation. and or the lack of communication, or maybe too much communication. I
Yeah.
think both of those things are important to understanding the impact on relationships that projection specifically has. And a way to reflect on that is to see the part that you're playing in that situation, and where the misunderstanding may lie. The misunderstanding may be a key to understanding yourself and the projections that you may be putting out.
Right, exactly.
And so, in a therapeutic context, in psychotherapy, psychologists and counselors often work with individuals to help them recognize and understand their patterns of projection. So, by becoming aware of their projections, individuals can gain insight into their own emotions and behavior, which can lead to personal growth and improved relationships. So, it's important to note that psychological projection is a complex psychological phenomenon and is not always negative. People can also project positive qualities onto others as well. And additionally, while projection is a defense mechanism, it is just one of many defense mechanisms that individuals may employ to cope with difficult emotions or thoughts, like drugs, for example.
Right. I like how it's said that it's not always negative, because I feel like a lot of times we think of it as just like a negative thing, like,
Right?
oh, when people are projecting like negative things onto us, but we never really think about it in a positive aspect. Like, yeah, people can project positive traits onto you too, so that's pretty dope to think
Yeah,
about it in that way.
yeah, yeah. I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
You want to get into the ego?
Yes. Okay, so it states here that psychological projection is closely related to the ego in the field of psychology. The ego, as described in Sigmund Freud's psychoanalytical theory, is one of the three components of the human psyche, along with the id and the superego. The ego is often associated with the conscious mind and is responsible for mediating between the impulsive, pleasure-seeking id and the moralistic, rule-driven superego. Projection as a defense mechanism can be seen as an ego-driven process. It occurs when the ego is faced with thoughts, feelings, or desires that are in conflict with their individual self-image or the societal norm and values upheld by the superego. Instead of acknowledging these uncomfortable aspects of the self, the ego may engage in projection as a way to protect the individual's self esteem and avoid cognitive dissonance.
And avoid cognitive dissonance. That's
Yeah.
a big one. I think that
Mm-hmm.
people, and myself included, have come to that threshold and be like, nope, I'm not doing it because this is
Mm-hmm.
gonna like fuck my head up and understanding, and it's too scary. It's
Yeah.
too much work, and
Yeah.
I think that like, and everyone's at different points in their lives, working on different things. And I think one of the things I'm at, is like, I definitely can call out being projected on.
Mm-hmm.
And what I'm working on is not projecting too much positive or especially negative onto other people. So
Right.
that whole part about the ego and the id and the super ego and everything you talked about there definitely resonates with me as far as work that I'm doing right now. Um,
Yes, absolutely. I was reading a little more about the ego the other day, and they were saying like the ego is like literally our mask. It is there to try to like stop us from being our most authentic self.
yeah,
And yeah, so I like that part where they say that the ego may engage in projection as a way to protect the individual's self-esteem and avoid cognitive dissonance. Yeah, that is so true, because like the ego, when you're, if you ever notice, like when you're like at like a really good point in life, like you're doing really good spiritually, you know, you're following your goals and sticking to your routine and being really disciplined, do you ever notice that's when the ego tries to kick in?
Yeah,
Like, it's
yeah.
because it's afraid, like, oh, like they're getting too deep, you know, they're going too within, like it's getting to be too much. We have to put this mask up again. So yeah, that's the ego right there.
In this context, the ego projects these unwanted or unacceptable thoughts and feelings onto others, thereby externalizing them.
Mm,
Mhm. By doing so, the ego can distance itself from the threatening aspects of the self and maintain a more positive self image. So, this speaks to
yeah.
everything you were just saying. This is why
Mm-hmm.
projection is considered a defense mechanism and is linked to the ego's role in managing internal conflicts.
Right, right. That's so true. So, in summary, psychological projection is a defense mechanism that involves attributing one's own thoughts, feelings, or characteristics to others, and it often arises from the ego's efforts to cope with internal conflicts and protect the individual's self concept.
So, how does one know that they're projecting?
Mm,
That's, I think that's for people that don't really think about this or don't really have any much information on it. Projection is often an unconscious process, which is why it can be particularly difficult to detect. Luckily,
mm-hmm,
there are steps you can take to explore any potential areas for projection
mm-hmm,
without the following patterns and symptoms. So, allowing others to hurt you and push your buttons repeatedly, being
mm,
quick to blame others and having intense reactions,
mm,
feeling too defensive, sensitive, or hurt about something another person has done or said, experiencing difficulties understanding another person's perspective and
mm,
point of view, seeing that your reactivity and sensitivity happen repeatedly. So
yeah,
I definitely like all these resonate with me at this current moment.
I feel
That's
that.
like yeah, but and also like this is work that I've been doing on and off intermittently for what a good 2 years now. But
Yeah.
so I'm aware of when it comes and to pinpoint it. And even
Mm-hmm.
if I'm not aware of it and pinpointing it, like there's always different things that come up, and I'm like, what is wrong with me? Why do I feel this way? Why am I saying this? Why am I doing that? Why did
Yeah.
I have word vomit right now? You know,
Yeah.
because I know when I have word vomit, I'm just saying all of this shit. Why do I
Yeah.
feel the need to say all of this shit? Why do I feel the need? Because something I'm trying to externalize instead of ask myself all of these questions myself, you know? So that like, yeah, so
Right.
if you are listening, I'm gonna put these in the comments because all five of these are really um important to know.
Oh yeah. For sure. And I actually have been doing this work, noticing my reactions to certain things within the last couple of months, and yeah, like you said, like it resonates with me a lot right now too. And I'm glad that I am getting to the point where I'm self-aware enough to realize it. Like you said,
Mhm.
like, okay, why am I feeling like this right now? Oh, wait, yeah, that's because this. Like actually being able to put two and two together
Right.
instead of just unconsciously just going about it and not even like paying attention and noticing that you're just projecting. So yeah, I'm glad that I'm getting to the point that I'm self-aware enough to realize it.
I want to ask Chaz and the Urban Conservative and Trip Young really quick, like
Yeah.
their take on projections, and if y'all have any do y'all are y'all dealing with being projected onto lately, or have y'all been projecting onto people lately? And are there any kind of uh things that you've noticed that has led you to realize that you're either being projected on or you're projecting,
Good question.
right?
You know, Duke, if you don't mind, I'll hit it first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, first, I just want to affirm, like, this is an incredible thing that y'all are doing here. You know, this is, yeah, I was sitting there listening and really just the tone of your voice and so soothing and like just thinking about where that's relevant to my life and holy cow, there's so many places that, you know, it's projection. Am I projecting? Am I
Right.
being projected on? And the defense mechanism, you're touching on Freud, and like that's definitely one of the chunks of psychoanalysis. Like a lot of things that Freud didn't get quite right. He was and father of psychoanalysis, right?
Yes.
First person, right? They put a pin in it, and it's well, a lot of people still gotta like figure out the shape of the terrain. You know, one pin doesn't tell you it, but I think in terms of projection, like Freud really nailed it.
Yeah, for sure. I think so too.
And to some degree, that's one of our incredible strengths as humans, right? We can flip an emotional state and interpret it. You know, it's why mothers imitating the emotions of their child just a little bit, it kind of triggers that reflex in the baby. Oh, I'm being understood.
Right.
So just that ability to kind of throw an emotion or have an emotion thrown to us, that catch of this is an emotion. You know, if people are mature about it, you can call them in like that, Divine Marie, where it's like, hey, you're projecting on me, and they might go, you know what, you're right.
Yeah.
I think I just felt really, really strongly about this. And I think I have some pretty good reasons for feeling strongly about this. So I kind of assumed that other people felt that way.
Right.
You know, can
Actually,
you tell?
I started doing that to my husband. I'll be like, you're projecting right now. And yeah, like, I'm glad that me and him are both getting to the point where we're self-aware enough to realize it. Because when I'll tell him, he'll be like, oh, like, yeah, you're right. Like, I am.
I
So,
think it's as simple as that because, like, for friendships, for example, like, and relationships too, friendship's a relationship, but, you know, we can, therapists are there for a reason. So we have to be mindful of not just like being an energy drain on other people because that's still another form of projection
it
when you
is,
just like
yeah.
emotionally dump everything on someone when they don't have the capacity or don't want to or don't want to make space for it at that time. That is their free will and their boundaries. But if someone willingly says, come here, like just dump, it's okay. That's different. Those are what friends are for too. But if someone has a boundary set up or you feel like they have that boundary set up and you just blab, that's also another form of projection.
Yes, I made this mistake of doing that in the past, like emotionally dumping on people when without asking them, like, do you have the capacity to take this in right now? And I think I've heard that, like, asking people that beforehand, like before you emotionally dump on them, like asking them, like, okay, wait, I need a vent, but do you have the emotional capacity to take this in? So I started doing that, like with certain friends and stuff, and like they'll be like, yeah, or if they say no, like I totally understand, and I won't like vent to them.
Especially in it's 2023 and a lot has happened and there's so much happening so fast. Everyone has things going on. So I think in this day and age, like it should be a very common thing to just, hey, do you have the are you good? Can I like vent to you real quick? You know what I mean? Are you good to listen to me vent real quick?
Right.
And it could be as simple as just listening. It doesn't have to be a back and forth conversation or any advice being said. Again, the therapists are there for a reason. If you can't afford one, this is what you can do. Just can I vent? You have the emotional capacity to listen because I don't want to project. Or let me know if I'm projecting. And I'm giving ideas and examples here, really. The urban conservative, you got any thoughts on this? You got any situations where you feel like, I'm sure you do, where people have projected onto you?
You know, I was just thinking about that, and I was honestly been thinking a lot of the last 3 years And I think I see a lot of inside the movement. You see a lot of people projecting. You know what I'm saying? I think it's because a lot of us, and and I mean this, and joined the fight so later in life, and started doing our own education and researching, and things like that. And when you started to call things out, people started to, oh, you're this, you're that, and I started to really be like, damn, am I really, you know what I'm saying? Am I really like this? You know, am I the problem? You know what I'm saying? Instead of just like looking at the shit for what it really was, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? I had to really look deep inside myself and like, and honestly, this is a good subject for tonight because projection and reflection is really, to me, similar in a lot of ways.
Two
Because
Yeah.
parts of
like,
the whole.
because when you look at, when you're sitting there projecting, it's really of what you see is wrong, and really it's not the
Yeah.
person, it's yourself. And then
Yeah.
when you're reflecting, it's
Mm-hmm.
like a two-sided mirror.
Yes,
It
You know what I'm
is.
exactly.
saying? So
Exactly, bro.
I see a lot of that in today's society for the
Yeah.
simple fact that we project so much onto others without even really self-reflecting first.
Yes.
And that's a big one for me because before I had really started to, you know, call people out as well, started to be a hater, as people want to call me a hater, or that I'm jealous,
Right.
of things
Right.
like that. It has nothing to do with that. It's, for me, right is right and wrong is wrong.
Right.
Um, and I don't think people and don't see it as that because the shoe fits, so they got to wear it. And instead
Yeah.
of wearing that shoe and being uncomfortable, they reflect and project and do all these other things instead of just really looking at the core issue for what it really
Well,
is.
see,
Right.
people don't reflect first a lot of times, and like within the realms that you're speaking of, especially, people are so quick to project without reflecting. You've got to reflect first before you
Mm-hmm.
project it. It's cool to call stuff out. It's cool to call out bullshit, especially, but you can only call shit out if you're doing a reflection first. You checked yourself. My house is clean. Now let me come for the dirty shit so we can clean that up too. Now,
Yeah.
if people are like, no, 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 this is clean, it's clean, and you're like, I can clearly see the mess right there. Let me get to it. And they're like, no, you worry about your garden. And it's like, my shit's good.
Mm-hmm.
I checked my house, it's clean. I'm telling you that your house, your garden, your city needs to be cleaned up, so to speak. No pun intended. But like, seriously, a lot of times in this movement you get a lot of people that want to avoid that cognitive dissonance. They don't want to learn, they don't understand, and when you're trying to get them to understand, the misunderstandings come in, and then the projection is heavy, and it can be a sense of, this is where I like to bring in the mob mentality, because you will have a whole ton of people that go along with something because it's popular. And like, I'll
Right.
speak about another thing is like GMOs today, and like the different waves of people hopping on better eating habits. And it's not
Mm-hmm.
it's not because um they're making it hip, but it's also because people are realizing how toxic things are in our country. And so there isn't as much projection thrown upon people that are being more mindful of healthy eating habits today versus like even 10 years ago. And I
Right.
bring that up because I think that that's a topic that we're going to get into at some point, is talking about like eating habits, corporate
Mm-hmm.
interests, and how they are literally like poisoning us by way of multiple different industries. And maybe also like ways that you can help be more sustainable. That would be really cool. Hey, greetings and good vibes, family. Welcome. Thank you for tuning in. Please share this podcast and webisode. We would love it if you did. Um, You want to get into that last little piece, Divine Marie, before we head to some clips that we really want to share with y'all, some really
Oh,
interesting
yeah.
stuff. Cool.
All right, so the last part, and then we'll wrap it up. How do I stop projecting? If you manage to rein your projection tendencies, you'll be able to better accept your weaknesses and failures. You'll also be more likely to forgive your partner, criticize them less, and feel more comfortable in your relationship. So here are some concrete steps you can take to try to stop projecting. So try and detect instances of your own projection and then analyze them. Try not to rationalize your behaviors and thoughts. Try mindfulness and meditation. Spend more quality time on your own. Yes, doing that
That's a big one
self-reflection.
too. Yeah.
Doing that self-reflection, yes. Work on your communication skills. Yes, unblock that throat chakra. Take a step back and question your own thoughts. More reflection, yes. Learn how to set healthy boundaries and speak with a relationship coach or a therapist. And I also put the article below of where I got, how do we know if we're projecting and how to stop projection. I put that article below, so if you can share that in the comments so everybody can just read it on their own time if they would like to.
I did, but I'm going to put it separate in its own comments. So it's right here for anyone that wants to check it out. And all of the information that we've shared during this webisode so far is in the comments for y'all to check out. I want to add to that bullet point real quick. Is like it says, learn how to set healthy boundaries, learn how to respect other people's boundaries as well. Because that can lead to miscommunication. Right. So one last thing, reflection question. In what ways do you find yourself projecting in relationships, friendships, business relationships, the workplace, anything of that nature that can relate to this? I'm going to put that in the comment section as well. And y'all can comment back to this and answer at any point in time. Whenever you see this episode, just shout us out and let us know, and we'll definitely converse with you. Doesn't matter.
For sure, yes. We love the engagement. So anytime you see some engagement questions, we would love for you to follow up with us.
All right, yo. So I want to get into some news and some clips because I didn't get to share the video that I wanted to share. As you know, I had some technical difficulties, but I do want to get into some new stuff. Tunes coming from like you have a new single called Flow 333 out.
Yes, I do.
That's available on Bandcamp, and the info is in the comment section for y'all to check out. She also has a single that's been out since like March called Vibin'. That is purely divine.
Thank you.
Yes, the album release will be out very soon, so check that out. It will be available for pre-order. Really excited for that. It's just a whole vibe of the kind of music I love to vibe to. And
I appreciate that.
Yes, by all means. In the Urban Conservative and myself, we've had so many different hits.
Yes, y'all do.
Over the course of the year, so we just decided to put it into like a greatest hits kind of thing. So definitely check that out soon. We have, it's basically out. You can check it out on Bandcamp. So I'm just gonna get into some clips here real quick.
Projection is you placing your negative thoughts and feelings on me, when in reality, it has nothing to do with me. It's you. Projection is you placing your negative thoughts and feelings on me, when in reality, it has nothing to do with me. It's you. I am not who you think I am. Into a box that I can't fit in. When they say it's not me, it's you, that shit is true. It's unworked trauma that you need to work through. Stop projecting things onto me. It's you. It has nothing to do with me. I release all that energy that's not mine because I know it's not me. And God knows my heart. One day I'll be free from all the pain and bullshit and feelings that people placed on me. I keep telling myself that it has nothing to do with me. Stop projecting your feelings onto me. It's not me. It's you. Think about it. Your subconscious is telling you that it's true. Work through that trauma, heal. Stop saying I'm this or I'm that because you don't even know who I am. You never took the time to even sit there and really get to know me. But if you got to know me, you would see that I'm actually full of love. And sometimes I get a little worked up and energy shown that's not mine because you're projecting yours onto me and it has nothing to do with me. It's not me, it's you. Work through the bullshit that you need to work through. Remember, projection is only things that you can't transmute. Sit there and take the time to figure out what you're going through. It's not me. It's you.
Yo, so, all right, I want to get into something real quick because, like, you hear the background where there's like dishes clanging around and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like I think that really adds to the song. I could see a video for this. I could see because you and Mansa are husband and wife, so I could see like you like say like speaking this to him in a diner, and he gets so like flustered, he like drops the plate to the ground, and he's looking down, and he looks up at you, and you're like just speaking it to him. You know what I mean? You pick up the plate, and he's just like intentfully listening, like, oh shit, you're right. You know what I mean? Like I could totally
be a dope video.
Right. And this actually is a full song that I know I'm throwing the beans, but the Urban Conservative is on that shit, and I think like he kind of comes in and speaks it from the dude's point of view, and like in this soft voice, like you're right, but let me make it right kind of thing, and it's so deep. It's so deep. It's such. I'm getting chills right now because it's such a raw track, and I love it. I absolutely love it.
Yes, I love it too. It's so dope.
Jojo said, I'm guessing Divine has read the 4 agreements. I think the book holds a truth, but it is used out of content to avoid accountability, which can lead a person to repeating issues after issues.
I actually haven't read that book, but it's on my list of books to read because
I think I read it in college, but I'm not. Or we like dabbled in it at least.
Yeah.
I'm familiar with it.
I gotta read it.
So I want to go into more content for y'all to check out real quick. So
projection is
not this one. I already saw that one. Okay, let me remove. Here we go.
Hey, we came from the stars and we seen our potential to help this world grow. Some say we came from the stars and we seen our potential to help this world grow. I am a conscious star being. I am a conscious star being. Some say we came from the stars and we seen our potential to help this world grow. Some say we came from the stars and we seen our potential to help this world grow. I am a conscious star being. I am a conscious star being. I am a conscious star being. I am here only for a part-time journey. This isn't my full aspect of life.
Slow, like the wind. Breathe out, breathe in.
Would give all fancy toys to have you by my side, driving and weeping by the good ones.
Everything I say, everything that you
Circumstantial Saint revolutions.
Where I had to change some things. I choose to look at myself selfishly because this path that I'm on is only about me.
Rise against the system, rise and fight for the dreams, the children, the hurt, hunger, lost souls from cancer's addictions, slavery and sins, fight for the lost friends, fight for
authentically you. And everything's always gonna be okay. Just keep vibing, just keep vibing, just keep vibing. Just keep vibing, just keep vibing, just keep vibing.
Actually, right here. No means next opportunity. It's something I'm trying to tell myself. Because that's also, I feel like that's another side of it too. It takes away at the self, at the confidence. So I'm so used to dimming my light that when I try to let it shine, I feel guilty. You know what I'm saying? So when someone tells me, like, I'm too scared to hear, I was too scared to hear that no. And now it doesn't bother me as much because I'm sitting in my personal yes. Does that make sense?
Yes, I feel like because we don't know how to have boundaries, I realized that about myself too. I had a hard time respecting other people's boundaries. I'm like, no, you're supposed to say yes. Like, yeah.
Because you do the same thing and you expect everyone else to do the same.
Yes.
Yep.
Man.
Been there.
No, trust me, I'm just saying. I still go through the phases of feeling guilty.
Because honestly, people pleasing is more of a selfish thing because we're letting our fears control us.
Yes.
Versus actually, we're assuming what someone's doing or what they want or what they're thinking instead of just actively asking them. And we don't give people that opportunity. It's an avoidance of conflict or confrontation. And
I'm not in a position to help someone who's not able to help themselves. I can't do it. I'm doing it on my own with the strength of God. And I had to pray to God afterwards because that guilty feeling started to come in. Because it's easy to revert back. It is. Well, I don't even know self. Constantly dimming my light for the comfort of others.
So, yo, that people pleasing track, yo, y'all killed that.
Yo, Complex Angel is an amazing lyricist. She's on Facebook, but she's heavy on Instagram. Her and the Art of Creativity do, like, I think bi-monthly open mic sessions. Where they also talk to you about your poetry. It's a really awesome session. It's a very, very safe space. She's an amazing lyricist. I met her in Philly at an event, and we just linked, and we just clicked. But the way that we really connected over that topic of people pleasing. And so
that track is dope.
Thank you. The track is on my album I Speak to Heal, which is out everywhere on all streaming platforms and services, and it also has a video that is out as well on it's on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. You can check it out on any of those social media platforms. And
yes, I love that.
Yes, I love it too. We so much. There's also a compilation out that has like myself, the Urban Conservative, Divine Marie, Mansa Abuchi, Trip Young, Matt Prophet of Past, and Love Parked Her on one. There's two compilations actually, but right.
Yes, I love it too. It's such a vibe.
It is. It really does encompass a lot, but from a really cool point of view, and it has like a really neo soul, trappy, jazzy kind of vibe overall. You know, there's a lot of horns and trumpets throughout. Like, it's really dope. Yeah.
I just want to point out that I love the part in my husband's song where he says, "I am here for a part-time journey." That part gets to me because it's like, yes, like we are so much bigger than just what is here. So I love that part.
Oh my God, that song is a whole vibe. I listen to it all the time. It is. It's like the part for me is the end. Like there's this part at the end, like you know that the song might like kick back up, but then it just comes at the end. He's like, thanks for your ear, and the door just slams, and it's cool. Like, I don't know, it has this spacey but homey, housey vibe to it.
Yeah,
and it's a very unique track. Yeah,
definitely,
yeah. If y'all heard that little clip to the intro we did, that is a track from myself and Divine Marie. I absolutely in love with, called "I'm Lit."
Oh yes, I can't wait.
I'm lit. I really does this shit. Like, that shit That's just fire, yo.
That is.
All right, so we can go ahead and get into our open mic session.
All
Yes,
right.
yes, I've been waiting for this.
Mm-hmm.
Since it's two dudes, let's give y'all can do rock paper scissors or whatever. I don't know if there's a lag. I'm done.
Y'all both got scissors.
Right, right. Do it again. Do it again. Okay, okay. Looks like what's that, Chaz? The
Yeah.
urban conservative. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right, brother.
So the piece that I am going to be reading tonight is called "Reflections of a Mixed Black Man in America."
Ooh.
As a mixed black man in America, reflection takes me on a profound journey through the tapestry of my identity. In this land of diversity and complexity, I find myself at the intersection of cultures, races, and histories. I contemplate the rich heritage flowing through my veins, where the narratives of my African forebears intertwine with those who journeyed from distant horizons. It forms a tapestry of the life experiences, a harmonious fusion of customs, a jubilant embrace of diversity. I reflect on the struggles and the triumphs of my family, who carried the weight of both oppression and resilience. Their stories etched in the annals of American history remind me of the endurance required to navigate a society marked by racial disparities. In the minor of my own experiences, or in the mirror of my own experiences, I see the challenges and opportunities that come with being mixed. It's a journey of self discovery where I embrace my uniqueness and recognize the power in my identity. As a mixed black man in America, I reflect not only on the past, but also the present and future. I carry with me the legacy of those who come before, and I strive to contribute to a more inclusive and equitable society where every shade of black is celebrated and valued. That's what I have.
I love that.
Yes, yes.
I always
Fine.
like hearing the perspective of like a mixed person's, point of view, because it's like you got to see both sides of it, and like trying to navigate that through the world, I'm sure could be challenging and sometimes.
You know, to be honest, like it was challenging
Mm-hmm.
to be, growing up in North Minneapolis
Mm-hmm.
and then going to my grandparents, which is a all white community, up in northern Minnesota, um, and being seen how I was treated there, and it was me fighting to no matter where it was, I was always fighting to be black, regardless if it was with other black people, if it
Yeah.
was white. I still had to fight for my blackness. I felt like I've always had to fight for my
Yeah.
blackness, even though my dad black as hell. You know what I'm saying? So it's like um, that's just something that I fight with today because I love being seen as a black American.
Right.
I get tired of being called a person of color. I get tired of being called BIPOC. I get tired of being called African American. Um, for the simple fact of I don't mind it, but it's like, why can't I be who I am? I don't know. I get my ancestors are from Africa, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't know nothing about Africa. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So it's like for me, I want to know about my Black American history, which America today likes to hide. They like to
Right.
under the rug, and
Mm-hmm.
that's the part for me. That's why for me history is a big part because to be honest, I feel like we have more successful black people in our history than we do in our present because they
Yeah.
literally got there because of their merits and their work and not because of some goofy ass legislation or some
Mm-hmm.
affirmative action or some equal opportunity employment type shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They were actually seen for the work that they did. And I feel like a lot of the things that we're doing today, if we were educated, Aunt Jemima would still be here. Uncle Ben, we could still go get Uncle Ben Rice. And
Mm-hmm.
people are probably like, man, this nigga crazy as hell. What the crazy part of it is we get. I'm not saying us here in this right here, but a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people in America got mad and don't even realize that that was a legacy for that family. That was generational wealth to some type of degree that that name was continued to live on. And but yet, when you look at MLB team or Major League Baseball, the Atlanta Braves, the Cleveland Indians, right? They don't get rid of that shit. Why were they?
Mm-hmm.
But we were so quick to get rid of
Because
stuff that
well,
represented black people.
because let me respond to that too. Because how about this? Because those entities are owned by rich white people. Uncle
Mm-hmm.
Ben's Aunt Jemima being Uncle Ben's ran by black people, like you said, building generational wealth, and it came about under a scandal at the height of racial awakening when people were just educating themselves on things. And what were we talking just about? What's this episode about? Projection.
Projection.
And it was
Yeah.
mob mentality projection
Right.
because people could not understand the complexity in history as to why, yes, it was offensive and it's a hot topic and it was a hot debate, but we definitely should have taken the time to talk about it more and figure
Mm-hmm.
out where we could go with those, specifically those two products, because I think it is a bit of a nostalgia thing. Was it a bit outdated and racist? Yes, but I think people also need to understand the complexities of it. There's a lot of our society is racist. So you take out two items. What does that do for our society? Nothing. It doesn't
Right.
change anything in our
Nothing.
society.
Yep.
Right. So I
We
totally
go
get
buy
where
the
you're
same
coming from.
product. It's just a different name.
It just
Yeah.
exactly it's same
That's
exact
it.
product, just with no same
Right.
I
exact
stopped
product.
buying it.
I never bought it to begin with, so it didn't
Yeah.
change for me anything.
Right.
Um, did I
I like
find it
me some Aunt
offensive?
Jemima.
There's a
I don't
lot of
know
other
about
things in
Ben.
society that I find more offensive than a person on a box.
I feel
Personally,
you. Right. No, for sure.
I feel you.
like they're cramming cancer down our throat every way they can, and from dyes to laundry detergent, and we're sitting there
Mm-hmm.
worried about a black person on a box. Like,
Well, I
Right.
at least it's visibility.
Mm-hmm.
No, but I want to talk about your take. My take real quick on your poem. I find I find you say you find yourself at the intersection of like cultures and histories. I found that really profound. Challenges and like shortcomings of being mixed. And one thing that I would have thought was really dope was to talk more about it, but you did in an abstract way, which I found that poem was really abstract, but it talked enough to get you to get one that maybe not be biracial to understand enough about like, hey, let me take a look at this real quick. So I found that to be really simple, but also very profound. Um, and also how you talk about like it talks about some dark things, but it also puts it in a very optimistic tone where you're talking about like you want to know the before, but you want to get to a better future. And I think that that's the point of takeaway for me that I really love about it is how it's still optimistic throughout, talking about like your personal knowledge, understanding, and like what you've learned in your life of being a person of mixed um, cultures and races.
Thank you.
Yes, yes. Uh, Trip Young, what you got for us?
I mean, I've just been meditating on perceptions and reflections, and like the melting pot of America is a little bit of an outdated thing because people don't assimilate as much as was originally thought. And so it's incredible, this incredible studying of the gemstones that are these incredibly diverse and wonderful cultures and identities, and the the art that comes out of cultures and identities and their permutations, and you get these like just limitless interactive permutations of an incredible sparkle, and it's a reflection. You get
Right,
what
right.
do you get in that? You get
Mm-hmm.
a brilliant shine is what you do when people
Talk about it.
live well and for the people around them.
Right.
And themselves, because you're the most closest human to you, you know?
I read about the shimmers or glimmers that they say that you can have in those bright moments that you have throughout your day that you can expand on and make into, like, you can expand that energy and make it into something bigger. And reflection, I think, can be a moment to create that positive energy and expand on it. And that goodness can be used to find out what you are projecting in a way that can be healthy for you to understand without being too hard or demeaning to yourself when you're holding yourself accountable for something. Like, you don't want to be too kind, but you also don't want to be hard on yourself either, or else what are you going to understand? You're going to create more turmoil and darkness. You want to be kind to yourself. So I think that those glimmers or shimmers, whatever you want to call them, actually do really good. And so you touching on that a trip really, like, definitely made me think of that for sure.
Right on.
All right, so what do you got for us, brother?
Not quite as heavy in the origins, because black folks built America, and it wasn't necessarily their choice, and that's something that needs to be acknowledged, and that is the awakening, right? It shouldn't, might be uncomfortable, right? But it shouldn't hurt to talk about it. You're only at fault if you're continuing to perpetuate these systems. So if you're actively working against them, why do you feel guilty about them? You didn't build them.
Exactly.
That part.
Right. So I was taking care of my parents' dogs the other week, and they're obsessed with whoever's around them. And so it kind of started that way, but then it got into like a meditation of, past relationships and, like what am I putting on future relationships because of that? Like what expectations am I projecting on with my idea of like, what do I want from future relationships? Man, why am I not letting them decide?
Yes.
But,
I love this already.
Right, so here's I haven't named it yet. I think it needs a name, but I haven't named it yet. Yeah. So here we go. All you want is love, and you want it all the time. Take my space and envy, don't forget that this one's mine. All you want is love, and we're running out of time. Take your space and envy, don't you hate that this one's mine. All you want is rough, when you're scratching out a line. Man, you're begging please, won't you keep 'em marching out in time. Take a mirror to it, we'll get through it. Yeah, you see, I'd do anything to keep your demons moving, keep them coming home with me. Do anything to keep your love, yeah, I'd take it all the time. I love the way you scratch a line, the way we come out fine. I'd list the bliss, but I think my list might get a little in the way if I told you how I'd hold you, yeah, every single day. All I want is love, and I want you all the time. I'd swallow hollow here without you, just a starter in my heart. It takes two to tango true, lone romantic just blows the candles out. I think I'd slip the bliss through, yeah, I'd step right out its way if I just cold told you how I'd hold you, yeah, each and every day. See, all you want is love, and I want it all the time. I take up space and envy, I keep on scratching out these lines. Keep on grinding, I'm just minding that we're coming out just fine. Keep wondering what kind of grin will step across that line. See, all I want is love, and you want it all the time. Could be our space and envy, I'd surely let you borrow mine. So should we take a gambit, spin 3 7s in a line? Just share our space and envy, I'm sure we'll come out fine. Home.
Yes. I love that.
Yeah.
Yo, that was so dope. And I feel like that you gotta make that a song.
Right? That's what I said.
That's dope. Like, you already have like a little melody and everything. Yes.
It started out, I was trying to write a song, and then because that's what I've been doing the last year. I've been writing songs, so I haven't really been writing poems. and I tried to write a song, and then I sung it as a song, and I was like, eh. And then I read it out, and I was like, wait, the dogs are really digging it when I'm reading it as a poem. So, and then I've had some friends tell me, oh, sorry.
No, keep going. Go ahead.
I've had some friends tell me that, trying to get a little too sing-song with it might get in the way of the delivery. And it has its own melody. It has its own rhythm.
Does.
So.
Yeah, I really like that, and I can feel like, how you explained at the beginning of your like expectations of kind of like what you kind of like you're already kind of projecting that onto, the next person or whoever you're in a relationship with, and I love that because I feel like we so often do that. Like, we'll project things from previous relationships, and a lot of us need to heal from past relationships, from traumas that happen in relationships, instead of bringing it into our next relationship. Because then we end up projecting that on to our new partner, and they're like, what the hell? Like,
that's not
I
fair.
didn't sign up for this. Yes, I love that. I love that poem.
Or, yeah, no,
I need to hear it in a song.
For sure. Yeah, no, I'll record it. Absolutely.
Dev.
Yo, yeah, for real. That track is fucking dope.
That
poem is fucking dope. But now I'm already thinking of it as a track too. Yeah, because I can
know.
Track poetry, like we can call it that. I've been running a lot recently.
Yo, and if you make it into a track, I need to hop on it because, like, yo, it is fire.
Water's
I
fine.
love it.
Jump.
Oh, speaking of,
get in.
Did you get her up yet about getting on that track? Because
no. I got another one that we've been working on, Black Cherry Cider, and there's a there's a section that I've been singing myself, but it really is a woman's voice in it, and it would be awesome if you could get in on that. Yeah, it's a chorus and a couple of lines. Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Sounds cool.
I got
we try to do that too. Me and John Tell, we try to play around and have a man sing it. It just didn't sound right, so that's when we got Loved Parked her, and she killed it. So,
yo, that song with y'all, Ego and Love.
Love and Ego. Yeah.
Love and Ego. Oh my God.
Yeah.
That is fire.
I need some with y'all too, though. I need some with Divine and Love. Y'all need to be.
Yeah, I was telling her that. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
that would be so fire. Yes.
Wait, who was the other person that was on the self-love track?
That's Empathy.
Is that your cousin too?
No, but she's from my hometown of Coatesville. So like, we probably related and don't even know it. But she's an amazing singer. She's got like a really powerful, soulful voice. I want to hear the three of y'all on the track singing. That would be fire.
Yes, make it happen.
There was something I wanted to say and touch on about something that Trip Young said, and I can't remember, but I love the repetitiveness of the all you want is love and I want it all the time. Like the rhythm of it reels you in, and it forces you to focus on not only the vibe that you're bringing to it, but where you're coming from, because you're very abstract with the words, so you have to read between the lines and feel where you're coming from. And Divine, you picked up on it perfectly. Like how we can be, we need to be mindful of projecting past situations onto future relationships, and you shouldn't be in a relationship if you haven't dealt with the past relationships and did the shadow work to understand where your shortcomings and overcoming stand in past relationships, so that you don't re-manifest them in present situations.
Right.
So I think that was very substantial in executing that, in the sense of an overall vibe of you, I think, being mindful of those things, and whether or not you're choosing to actually implement them or not. seems very questionable given the given the context of the poem, like the actual words and the way that you're speaking it with the angst that you're speaking it. But I think
Yes.
that in itself is very powerful and very telling as to what anyone should be mindful of when they're doing the shadow work, when they're dealing with projection, and if they're giving self-reflection. You're clearly giving self-reflection in it, but you're like, I don't know if I give a fuck about projecting though. Like that's my take on it, but I also feel like that it's still like you're still learning regardless, and I find that that's what's powerful. That's just my take on it.
Yeah, that was, I loved it.
Because of the way that what we were talking about earlier, you know, that asking consent, you know, like the emotional thing where it's like, hey, do you have space to deal with what I got going on right now? Because I could use a hand with it.
Right.
You know, it is. I feel like that angst, which is a great word for it. You know, that's like, listen, there's a bunch of water behind this dam. You can just pull out the keystone and it'll be a river again, and we're good to go. But there's going to be a flood. You know, like so just yeah.
Yo, that resonates, and I totally respect you being honest about that. Like, yeah.
Yes.
The Urban Conservative, you got some thoughts?
No, I was literally I was over here thinking, and I was like, man, I can't wait for him to spit because his voice totally changes up when he starts. Like
Yeah.
when he talks, it's different, and then because it's like, wait, this can't be the same guy that's on Bloody America. This can't be.
Right.
No,
So I
witness
see
this
why.
and be modified by it. Come on, I sound exactly the same.
Right. But it's like it's because when I see you and then when I hear you speak, it takes me to a whole nother realm because your voice, I don't know what it is, but I remember the first time that I heard Bloody America, and I was like, wait, let me rewind this a little bit. Oh, wait, and I was like, and then I was like, wait, who is he again? And then so then when I seen a picture of you, I'm like, wait, no, fuck no. And to me, it's you bring something like to hear you speak and then to hear you speak. It's two fucking different things for me, and I love it because it it's like with you and Matt. You know, Matt. Why I love Matt so much is because his mentors, you would like Frederick Douglass, Nat Turner, people that are, you know, white people would never usually not look at as,
Crops without rain.
heroes and right, you know what I'm saying? So it's like I love to hear you guys speak for the simple fact it comes from a different place. It comes, you can hear it, you know what I'm saying? And that's the one thing for me of why I love working with the people that I work with, and everybody brings their own experiences, they bring their own life perspective, and I just love it. And we have all, you know, we have queer, we have straight, cis, whatever people want to pronouns, whatever they want to call themselves. We have all of that, man. We have white people, we got mixed people, we got shit, whatever.
We got all kinds of people. Get in here.
You know what I'm saying? So I just love it that we all bring different experiences, but they all come together so beautifully, like a symphony.
Absolutely.
So
it's so dope.
Hell yeah. All right, so we got you're up next, Divine.
Okay.
Yes.
So I didn't even prepare anything new.
I feel
Yeah, I feel like I've been doing a lot of like heavy releasing lately on poems and stuff like that. So I'm just gonna read something light right now.
Okay. Okay, I
A
respect
little
that. Hell yeah.
something different, yeah. And it doesn't even have a title, but here we go. I crave a slow love, that go with the flow love. Wake up, don't want to look at your phone love, 'cause love is sitting right there with you. Patient love, understanding love, not over demanding love. The love that loves you like you love you. Gentle love, not overzealous love. Never want to hurt you, love. That love that lifts me up, 'cause that's what love's supposed to do. Deep love, sweep me off my feet, love. But is that how love's supposed to feel? Are the feelings that I crave for love even real? Poem.
Mm, yes. I, I find that very simple, but you don't get to the point. Like you start off on a cliff. I mean, you end on a cliff. It leaves you
Yeah.
hanging like, where you gonna go? So
She wants
Right.
that slow love. Like, give it time to build.
Right, exactly.
oh my god, nah, I dig that though. You said you don't have a title for it yet,
No.
right? I get that. I don't think it's finished.
Yeah, it's probably not.
I feel that because I have a poem called Seeds, and I'm still wondering if it's finished yet or not. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not going to read it today, but
Mm-hmm.
um, eventually, hopefully, one day I'll read it, or maybe I'll do it on Complex Angel and the Art of Creativity's um, open mic, because I think it might be a really great space for that. We'll see.
Right.
Yeah.
Dope.
Trip, the Urban Conservative, which y'all think?
It was so short. I want more. Like maybe I don't. Maybe it's not finished. Maybe it is finished. But it's one of my favorite poems of my own, and I have an entire book of very short poetry by a guy named
Yeah.
Atticus that doesn't write anything longer than 6 lines, really. And
Mm.
it's all stunning and beautiful and
Mm-hmm.
conveys this fleeting ephemeral feeling that you are like, oh, I got it, you
Yeah.
know. And
Yeah.
maybe there's a meditation on that capture, but it's the feeling that's so important. And
Right.
we laughed afterwards, and I feel like if you can make a joke with someone, you've made a really great connection. And it
Mm-hmm.
let us share a joke. That was an inside joke that I felt well communicated with. So
Right.
thank you.
Yes.
Appreciate you. Yeah, I'm going through this phase where I was like writing haikus only.
It's fun.
Yeah, it is fun.
I think it definitely flexes some muscles and
Oh
gets you
yeah,
to be
it
more
does.
creative. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. I've done that in quite some time, but I find them very fun.
Yeah, I like doing them.
Well, I think that like the last episode we did chakras and shadow work prompts. I think that we should implement that a little more into the show. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
with guests to do like different prompts with them, and everyone just spits, um, not necessarily lines, but just their thoughts on different prompts, so we can like just stretch our mind in the sense of healing. I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, because those prompts were really good. I really like those prompts.
I'm down for mental exercise, man.
Mm-hmm.
The urban conservative, you there? Maybe he's not. I'll go ahead.
I'm here. I just had somebody that it was kind of loud in the background, so I just wanted to
Oh, you good?
mute. No, I was here. No, and like I said, like I love listening to, especially like I said, all of us when it comes to
Mm-hmm.
our words, and I listen to the words. I didn't get to hear the whole poem,
Mm-hmm.
and so I'm not even gonna front like I heard the whole thing. I ain't gonna go just the whole charade and be fronting, but uh, I I just know that the first time I heard vibing, I I felt something different, and then even with, and I don't even know if Love and Ego is out there. I know I've heard it. I don't know who else has heard it.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it inspired me, especially from a woman's point of view, and that's what I want people to listen to is the words. You
Yeah,
know, listen to the words because there's so much
exactly.
that we, even with Circumstantial, you go back to his early stuff and
Mm-hmm.
just the words, and then you see the
Right.
maturity. So I look forward to these things, and I hope people, if you're listening, that you, if you've never even done poetry, shit, I didn't either. John Till brought it out of
Mm-hmm.
me, and that's all
Right.
you see them, the urban conservative today. You know what I'm saying? So,
Mm-hmm.
um, I know that we can, and we need to get that can't, put it in the closet, and lock that bitch in there because we can. And I don't mean it on that kind of terms, but like lock that bitch in the dungeon.
No, get that lightning in a bottle. I feel you. It's just,
Right, that one too. We
I
like
love the
crispy
way you
said.
say things, man.
But no, I love it. I love, you know what I'm saying. I even when you shared a post earlier this week, your desserts. And I
Oh, yeah.
remember doing the little ads and the way that me and John Tell were speaking about it. And
Oh, yes, I remember.
yes, and
Mm-hmm.
to see that where we're at today just
I
shows
know.
that when you speak things into existence and you do positive things,
Mm-hmm.
the world notices. And
Exactly. Exactly.
I'm grateful. That's all I gotta say. And I'm gonna leave it at that because every time that I hear you speak, it leaves me inspired.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate that. Yes, I really appreciate it. That's my goal.
I just want to piggyback real quick off that and say, like, I agree with everything he just freaking said.
Started, you know.
Mhm. Yep.
Thank y'all. I appreciate y'all.
I guess I will get into my shit. It is new. Um,
Okay.
it's actually y'all can, I'll put the lyrics in towards the end of the episode, but it's called Revolutionary Friends.
Mm.
So all of y'all are in. This poem is inspired by many friends, but the three of y'all all are inspirations to this poem. So y'all might be able to find little tidbits about y'all in here. Uh, this is called Revolutionary Friends. My friends are the kind but not so kind friends. The friends that are the kind of friends that'll pick you up to go to a city council meeting about environmental racism. They're the kind of friends that are down to come with you to march the city streets of Philly for the lack of charges against killer cops. My friends are the kind of friends who stand on the front lines of rallies against corporate pipeline and lost wages and salaries. My friends are the kind of friends who start music labels with you in real time, go line for line about this fucked up system with you, bars for lost stars. My friends are the kind of friends who go line for line about the earth's destruction, humanity, wars, and how we need to eat better and lay off the coffee. My friends are the kind of friends who hold me accountable and validate me, and don't get salty when I bruise with my words, but tell me when I'm being shitty. My friends understand my words are just the tip of the iceberg. My friends are the kind of friends down for the shits, 2 a.m. road trips to Akron. My friends go win with you and start a label. My friends are the kind of friends who don't get hung up on no labels. They get hung up on unstable practices of the few at the expense of the many. My friends are with the shits and know a lot about, well, anything and plenty. My friends are the kind of friends with bars, the kind of friends with backyards and campfires that turn blue with a little fairy dust spread out a bag and talk about corporate takeovers and excess of housing for few. Long rides to be with people you actually call family. These friends aren't just my friends, that's why they call family. My friends stand, but are fragile and gentle, yet mighty with life. Sharp with the tongue, passionate and with spite. Cynical from systemic blight. Cruel from torment that turn to delight. My friends are the kind of friends that get me up out of bed and say, go stand with the people. We need to stand together, get up. My friends remind me I am no better than the ones that haven't learned. My friends are the kind of friends who sit with you and smoke a fat blunt and talk about corporate schemes, agendas, conspiracy theories, and lecture documentaries about the things we do or don't need. The taste in fashion can be obscene and turn eyes away, but clothes I personally don't need. My friends were bullies or bullied, but have grown to understand you get wise or stay sleep. Your last does not define you, only you can keep it alive truly. My friends made mistakes and own them. My friends make mistakes and show the world how to make mistakes but own them. My friends are the kind of friends who are and can be just as colorful as I can be and don't have a need to be center stage and just want to be free, shine their light as they see, fit to be however they feel in spirit to be. My friends are the kind of friends that are the kindest friends, the kind of friends I think all friends should be like my friends. My friends are the kind of friends I think everyone needs. My friends see the things at times I don't see. My friends hate the police. My friends shoot rounds for practice against the pigs and don't apologize for being black or brown or anything white say isn't right. My friends support black and trans rights. My friends are pro-black. My friends are healthcare as a human right. My friends are under attack. But my friends are the kind of friends who nevertheless fight back. My friends are victors in their own stories, traumas, beauties, and overstandings. My friends don't always have the bigger hand, but still stand tall against fears that manifest through frustrated tears. My friends overcome stalkers and rape and body issues, addictions, and painful situations to use as fuel to educate the next generations about how to face their fears and not feel unsafe. My friends are the kind of friends who will find a way to make sure I ain't late. My friends eat avocado and have theories about the whereabouts of El Dorado and eat corn chips and bottle caps and soda and preach about the pros and cons of getting weed in Colorado. My friends are the kind of friends, the kindest of friends, the friends you don't want to fuck over. The kind of friends that are the kindest of friends, the kind of friends you go to bat for. The kind of friends that will stand in front of you and take a bullet. My friends are the kind of friends, if you lost, they come looking. The kind of friends that are the kindest of friends, the mindless won't win. The kind of friends I hold close to and share spaces with. The kindest of friends that take mindfulness and transmute negatives and positives and strive to constantly be new. The kind of friends that understand we are one and what happens to me happens to you. We are all sons and daughters and children from the sun, from the mother. My friends love each other and understand no one is above another. Because my friends are the kindest of friends, the kind of friends that chant, I believe that we will win. The kind of friends that don't get hung up on no sin and loss of proximity to blood kin. The kindest of friends, the friends that kindness will win. My friends are the kindest of friends, the kind of friends that see their privilege or lack of. And my friends listen to give back love. And my friends will feed you if you need, because we all need to eat. My friends are the kindest of friends, the kind of friends who are kind to anyone who wants to be loved and shown what love is, what care is, how to feel and accept it. My friends are the kind of friends ready for more than a battle. I could go on, but my friends know they my family. I don't need to continue to tattle. But y'all get it. Some of these motherfuckers, by definition, are radicals. Oh.
By the roots.
I love it.
Oh yeah, man.
That was dope. I feel like you did so good at literally describing all your kinds of friends. Like you literally you hit it like right on of the type of people that you surround yourself with, and I think that was so dope. And it's like a nice little tribute to the people that you feel like are your people, and how you called it revolutionary friends. Like I think that's so dope.
Know me by the company I keep, and this is who I keep. And
right.
Says the Circumstantial Saint. Yeah.
Right.
I so appreciate that. I love y'all. Nah, y'all hit it on the nail. I don't need to say anything else, and I literally feel like I ran it all down. And that poem progressed. Like it was a lot shorter than that at one point, but I just kept thinking of more things to add, and it just progressed over like a week or two.
You can write that poem your whole life.
As y'all know, I usually could just write something real quick and it's done, but this was something that took some time, and I think it was well needed because I'm happy with the way it's come out. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
It's a beautiful piece.
Thank you.
It was. It definitely is.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, so that was my piece. Divine, is there any last things you want to touch on real quick? You as well, Trip. Are there any last thoughts y'all want to shout out?
Keep this shit up. Like,
Thank you.
I was sitting there earlier, and I put down my homework and started like listening because I was like, holy crap, this is good stuff, and I need to hear it. And
nice.
a lot of people could stand to hear it, and this is I can show you all kinds of evidence that like this is the work that holds civilizations together. And
appreciate you.
So thank you. I appreciate you.
Thank you so much. And yes, I feel like that's like the reason why we wanted to start this was to, bring awareness to certain topics and just spread knowledge out there. And, a lot of people are going through their healing journeys right now, and we're all transitioning to a new world, I should say. So I think it's so important to just all keep learning and growing, and I'm just here to help others heal.
That part. As we heal, we share the knowledge and we help heal.
Exactly.
And I think that's important. Yes, we need to pop some cherries in this bitch. No pun intended. I didn't mean to defend nobody, but
Phrasing? Anyone? Phrasing?
Y'all know me though. I and then I just want to end on this reflection question. Don't forget, y'all, please comment y'all answers to this in the comments, or
yes.
DM us if y'all want us to talk about this a little more on the next episode or something. Let us know. But our question is, in what ways do you find yourself projecting in relationships? And that could be friendships, business, family, doesn't matter. But do you find yourself projecting in what ways, if so?
Mm-hmm.
So it's been a wonderful web show.
It has, yes.
I'm very thankful.
I love this episode already.
Yes.
Another great episode.
Can't wait to get some clips in for this because, yes.
Right.
Yeah. So that's all I have. You have anything you want to add, either y'all?
No. Thank you all for listening and watching, and yes, take some time to answer that reflection question because we would love to see you guys' answers and engage with you all. We really appreciate it.
You well, y'all?
Divine Marie.